Welcome back to SA Today. Let's look at news from further afield now. Ukraine's leader says the country is willing to give up aspirations of joining NATO in exchange for Western security guarantees. The message from Ukrainian president comes as peace talks with US officials will continue on Monday. William Denselow reports from Brussels.
Following Sunday's discussions between Ukrainian and US counterparts held in Germany, Steve Witkoff, the US envoy, said lots of progress had been made as the two sides discuss a potential peace plan for ending the war. But conversations will certainly continue on Monday. European leaders will be joining those talks a little later on Monday to discuss the latest on these proposals, including comments from Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy saying that he is now willing to give up aspirations of joining the NATO military alliance in exchange for tangible security guarantees going forward. We've heard from Kaja Kallas, the EU's top diplomat and foreign affairs chief, speaking here in Brussels a little earlier on Monday. She said when it came to these security guarantees that Ukraine needs real troops and real capabilities to defend itself going forward, regardless of whether a peace plan is achieved. She said that the Donbass region, an area that is central to much of this peace plan negotiations, whether it be used as an economic buffer zone, whether parts of it should be given to Russia or not, those are central. But she says that regardless of how this peace plan materializes, she says that this simply isn't Russia's endgame in of itself, and that even if Russia were to take this part of territory in the east of Ukraine, that there needs to be real stopgaps to ensure that Russia doesn't come back in the future and take more or even all of Ukraine going forward. She said that history dictates that that is Moscow's objective, a point that has been strongly rejected, though, by the Kremlin. On Monday, foreign ministers are here in Brussels discussing another crucial issue, the issue of funding Ukraine going forward. Now, Kaja Kallas has described this as a make or break week. Heads of state across the EU are set to convene here in Brussels towards the end of this week, where there are real hopes that a decision will be made on whether to use roughly $240 billion in frozen Russian assets. But there are strong reservations from several member states, most notably Belgium, where the majority of these frozen assets do reside. So big question marks as to whether the EU can get any kind of deal over the line this week, something that Kyiv's allies and Ukraine itself are very much hoping will manifest. William Denselow for SABC News, Brussels.